So today, with regard to the Johnny Depp case, this is trending. Amber Turd. That's right, Amber Turd. Why? Because today we were told that after Johnny Depp found out about a certain business being carried out, that he replied to this with a string of jokes, including quote-unquote Amber Turd and Amber's in the dumps. Amber's in the dumps, indeed. So hey there, now before we get started, and excuse me if I laugh in this video, it's really hard not to, but this is our second comic book. Link is in the description. 4 days and change left remaining. Now we need your help because simply mainstream comic press, they won't pick us up. Mainstream comic pros, they pretend that we're villains, and you know what? We don't need them. We need you. So check that out, spread the word, and thank you as always. So 2 days ago, and followed up on today, we found out something remarkable. Johnny Depp had ended the relationship with AH because of something that these folks call Poopgate. That's right, the friends and everybody involved, they called this stuff Poopgate. So the mainstream and the internet, they have picked up on this, and I have to say that this stuff is beyond golden. Quote, a defecation incident in which feces was found in Johnny Depp and AH's bed was a quote-unquote fitting end to the couple's relationship, the Hollywood actor has said. The star told the high court that he had been convinced it was either his ex-wife herself or one of her friends that was involved in this episode. Now, just a note, we've heard about this before, and the way that Johnny Depp was made aware of it was because of the following. So on April 21st, 2016, AH had a birthday celebration at a condominium she was then residing in with Johnny. The following day, AH and her friends were due to go and did go to the Coachella Music Festival. Johnny had requested that I provide AH with all the help I could with the party, and along with other employees, we spent about 5 hours setting up one of the penthouses for a party. AH later claimed that Johnny had beaten her on April 21st, 2016. Johnny's security detail, Sean Bett, who had spent 18 years as an LA Sheriff's Department, told me the next day that AH had in fact become enraged by Johnny arriving late from a business meeting to her birthday party and punched him repeatedly in the face as he lay reading in bed, forcing Mr. Bett to request a pickup and ride back to his West Hollywood home. On April 22nd, 2016, I spoke on the telephone with Hilda Vargas, Johnny's housekeeper who was cleaning at that residence that day. Hilda told me that she had discovered feces in AH's and Johnny's bed. Shortly after our telephone call, I received photographs from Hilda of a large amount of feces on top of the bed sheets on Johnny's side of the bed. I was on my way down to the penthouse at the time, and when I arrived, I was shocked and disgusted by what I observed as human feces on white bed sheets. The feces did not appear to come from either Johnny or HH's two small teacup Yorkshire Terriers who weigh approximately 4 pounds each and whose feces I had seen during my time as their estate manager when I walked and cleaned up after them on many occasions. Years later, AH publicly blamed the feces on one of the teacup Yorkshies. I swear what a messed up incident this stuff is. So I sent the pictures I had received from Hilda to Johnny's security guard, Sean Bett. I believe that Sean would have the opportunity to speak with Johnny sooner than I would have, given that Johnny had a busy calendar that day, and I was downtown and Johnny was at another location. Within 24 hours, I also spoke with Johnny personally about the pictures. Now that it was from Kevin Murphy, that was the estate manager there. It also talks about Hilda Vargas, whom we're going to hear from later in this trial, but it gives you an idea of the settings around all of this. So back to the mainstream. So Depp, he has entered the witness box to give evidence for the 4th day in his libel action against the Sun newspaper over allegations that he was violent to AH 34. Think about that too. 4 days, over 20 hours of this insanity. So the Pirates of the Caribbean Star is suing the Sun publisher newspaper, News Group Newspaper, or NGN, and its executive editor, Dan Wooten, over a 2018 article which labeled him a quote-unquote wife beater. So today, Depp, he takes the stand, and they're talking about AH's 30th birthday party at the Eastern Columbia building. That's where all of this stuff takes place around on April 2016, and the defecation defecation incident, it's brought up. Now, when Depp, he's talking about this stuff, he says that he thought the 2016 incident in April, it was a quote-unquote fitting into the relationship. I have to say, too, that is definitely the end time there. You get your finger chopped off, though. You don't leave, but the pooping, that's too much. That's an interesting statement of that, isn't it? So earlier, Sasha Wass, lead counsel for NGN, suggested Boo, one of the couple's 2 Yorkshire Terriers, had problems with their toilet training, to which the actor said the dogs were very well trained, but that Boo was not as trained as Pistol, their other dog. Now, this portion here, my God, this is great. And you know what? AH will be forever known as Amber Turds or Amber in the Dumps. So Wass, she continues, saying to Depp that it came to your attention the following. That was the day of AH's actual birthday. Again, not the day of the celebration, but the day after, that was discussed, that the cleaner had found feces in the bed. She suggested Depp was later sent photographs of the feces, which the actor found quote-unquote hilarious, and that there were jokes like Amber Turd and Amber in the Dumps going on. My God, this is such good stuff. Now, Depp replies to this. It was one of the most absurd, unexpected statements that I have ever witnessed in my life. So yes, initially I did laugh because it was so strange. And yeah, you would think that was some kind of joke. Somebody sent you this. They sent you pictures of someone going to the bathroom in your bed. Surely that can't be real, right? I mean, your initial reaction was probably shock, thinking that you're being punked or something. But from there, he said, he told the court it was a mystery who defecated in the bed, and it was not left by a 3 or 4 pound dog. Now, to quote Johnny Depp on this, he actually does say that she did this. He says, I understand that the following morning, after the party, AH or possibly one of her friends defecated in our shared bed, and on May 12, 2016, AH confessed to our estate manager, Kevin Murphy, that leaving the feces in the bed had just been a harmless prank, thereby effectively acknowledging that she had been responsible where she had previously sought to blame our dogs. So, she is indeed blamed on this. She takes the blame for this, according to Kevin Murphy. And again, you get the Amber Turd claims afterward. Now, what's interesting is Kevin Murphy, he's actually talked about this subject coming up before, too. On May 21st, the day in question where Johnny Depp supposedly throws a remote, Kevin Murphy said, I received a telephone call from both Johnny and AH, who were on speakerphone together. Johnny told me he was sitting there talking to AH, and he asked me to recount to AH what I had previously told him about the feces incident the month before. I repeated to AH again that Hilga had discovered the feces on top of bed sheets in Johnny and AH's bed, and that I had also personally gone over to view the feces on the bed and was 100% certain that it did not look like either of the dogs, but rather appeared to be human feces. I also repeated that AH had admitted to me that she was responsible for what she referred to as just a harmless prank. AH yelled and cursed at me several times, calling me an effing liar over and over. I asked her to stop yelling and swearing at me. I also heard Johnny in the background quietly saying, please don't speak to him that way, be respectful. Then I heard Johnny say that he couldn't do this more and he wanted a divorce. When AH would not stop screaming, I hung up the phone. I received multiple additional telephone calls from the same number in the minutes that followed, but I refused to answer them and take further abuse. Now, we'll talk about the rest of that coverage in just a second, but because of that proclamation there, Amber Turd starts trending. It makes me wonder something, too. I mean, when you look at her, one of the reasons that she gets picked up for a lot of movies is because of a beauty standard. And beyond that, you can see this in the trending. She actually is picked up by L'Oreal Paris, again, because of beauty standards. So what happens when Amber Heard's name name is synonymous with defecating in a bed. When people look at her and they say, ha ha ha, that's Amber Turd, does that hurt her going forward? I'm curious, what do you think about that? So earlier, Wasp told the court that Depp had arrived late for AH's birthday after giving some rather unfortunate news about his financial affairs at a meeting. The Edward Scissorhands star said he went to bed and was reading, quote, trying to avoid any confrontation with AH. He was asked if he was really reading a book on his wife's birthday when she had said she was upset that he was late to her party. Depp replied, I thought her behavior regarding the subject of my tardiness to her birthday party, I thought it was too much. Her anger, her rage, when I had been texting AH telling her, I am so sorry, I'm going to be late. Wasp went on to suggest Depp had become angry after AH raised the issue of him being late to the party, and he had gotten out of bed to argue with her, which the actor denied. Then Wasp said to Depp was very distressing about the news you had received, and the last thing you wanted to do was to be told that you were disappointment to your wife. I believe that's the last thing any husband would want to hear. Wasp went on to accuse Depp of picking up a magnum bottle of champagne and throwing it at AH, which missed, with the glass smashing, which he denied. She also alleged he grabbed AH by the hair and pushed her onto the bed, adding, when she tried to leave, you blocked the bedroom door and you tried to grab her hair. Then she suggested Depp pushed her to the ground, bumped her chest before leaving the apartment. Depp denied that he had grabbed or pushed AH and said he had texted his security team, who went outside of the penthouse and said, gotta go, gotta get out of here. Wasp also asked in this if Depp had left a note which read, happy effing birthday. Depp replied, I don't know if I did, but that's very, very possible. So to close, and what a freaking day. I mean, what a day indeed. This is our second comic book, another case for the Littlest Umbrella. Link is in the description. Hopefully you'll check that out. We don't get any coverage out there because we talk about due process, and look up the articles right now that are trending about this stuff. You'll see why that is a poison word, why we can't get any coverage no matter how we do anything, and that's okay because, again, we don't need those people. They can fail on their own. We need you. So check that out, share it out, and as always, thank you for showing up and participating. You make this stuff work, not them. So thank you. Appreciate you. We'll do this stuff again soon. Thanks.